Hi, this is Paul Slack. It's Good News Planet. I'm a happy, happy guy on Halloween, and I'm speaking with Amy Hahn. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hi, Paul. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. It couldn't be any better. Vice President and General Manager of the Global Hershey Experience. You lucky duck. This is not fair. So, you have news about a couple new Hershey Chocolate World celebrates the 40th years as a leader in experience marketing and record visits and expansion during the 40th anniversary. Plans on expanding in Las Vegas and Shanghai, China in 2014. Okay, tell us what's going on. Great.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of good news, and as you know, put a lot of smiles on many faces. But there's a lot that we have to talk about, and a lot we're excited about. Starting with the 40th anniversary of our original global flagship location here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So we're proud to not only have sustained for 40 years, but also be able to record some record attendance, and it grows and grows every year. So. Something special that we're doing here that continues to bring happiness to everybody that visits. So, doing something right there. I'm pleased to share that more and more with the world. And speaking of that, given the wonderful success that we've had in Hershey and some of our other U.S. stores, we've embarked on a broader global expansion, both in the U.S. market, where we've been for many years, as well as into some other countries and emerging markets where Hershey as a company and our brands are going to continue to connect with a broader global audience, and the stores play a very important role in that as we go forward. Particularly in China, we're excited to be able to share news that will open another location in Shanghai in several months. And the role of those stores in places like China and South Asia and even the Dubai location that we have really are about introducing our brands and our company and telling the great story that we have as a corporation to just a new generation and a new expanse of consumers who are out there who may be familiar or maybe not at all familiar with Hershey's. So it's a great opportunity for us, and it's a great vehicle in the store to be able to deliver, just a deeper level of engagement with our consumers, and to be able to tell a story in a more graphic and a more intimate way, to be able to really connect folks who haven't had the 100 years of Americana history that many of the folks in the North America regions have been able to benefit from over the years. And speaking of North America, and also in a few months, sometime in winter, early spring, we'll be opening Las Vegas location, which will be a grand building in New York, and a couple of stories and several entrances that are really going to help sort of brighten up the strip, we're sure. We have a great exterior design planned, and it also coincides with New York's renovation of their sort of entire facade and property there on the strip as well. So I'll stop there and see if you have any questions.
Yeah, this
I have
is
more
great.
to tell, but I'll take a breath. How's that?
So I'm thinking, I recollect, we've done a few stories over the years, quite a few actually, about Hershey's. We're crazy about what you do. And somewhere I recollect that you make, in one day, enough Hershey Kisses to go from here to Shanghai. So it was something. Is that right?
Yeah, probably true, yeah. Todd's nodding his head, so I'm counting on him on the technical pieces here. But yeah.
If you'd line them up. You have interactive 4D. Okay, your stores are not just a regular store; they're an experience. And tell us in that regard. I mean, you have definitely taken from the corner candy shop to a new height here. And tell us some of the kinds of things that someone can experience in a Hershey's Chocolate World.
Yeah. So we think about our retail concepts really as experiential marketing at its best, of course, and as such we work really hard to design interactive experiences for our guests where they can truly connect with the brand but also have a lot of fun and come away with a great memory and, in most cases, a great product that they can take with them as well, in many cases ones that they've designed themselves. So you mentioned 4D, and that is news in our flagship location in Hershey, PA. So we had a 3D show, which what we call the 3D show, for about 10, 11 years, and it was time to refresh it. And when we did that, we wanted to make sure that we were taking especially the new technology and the next generation of consumers coming in and the tech-savvy folks and taking our experience to another level so that we really connect with them. So what we did was we worked with the Jim Henson Creature Shop and combined a number of sort of new and emerging technologies in a way that nobody else has done before in our newly revised 4D show. Not only does it have a new plot and storyline called the Great Chocolate Factory Mystery, where we ask our visitors to help us solve the mystery of what's happening in the factory overnight, but it includes a cast of characters, our Hershey's brand characters that have been completely refreshed and now have very distinct personalities and backstories that the audience members can connect more with. And we walk, in the experience, we walk folks through who our characters are and be able to kind of bring them to life in a more real way through the pre-show that we have and then leading into the experience. But part of the technology we have in place is digital puppetry, live digital puppetry, and that's the Jim Henson connection. And so we literally have the largest staff of digital puppeteers in the world who give a show every half an hour here in Hershey, PA, 364 days a year, which is why it's the largest staff, because we're probably the longest or most frequently running show out there. And they interact and perform live with the audience. They have a webcam where they actually see you sitting there, can identify you, and interact and speak directly with you. So a live puppeteer is up in the booth and connecting directly with folks in the theater seats, calling them out, identifying them. And one of the great things that we have set up is in the pre-show we have docents who help tell the story of our characters and set up the show for the visitors. And through that exchange that they have in that pre-show room, they get a lot of interesting information about our guests. So while the guests feel like they're just kind of interacting, with this person who's paid to make them feel good and happy, while they're gathering that information, they're actually sending it up to our puppeteers who then leverage it and use it in their exchange with visitors in the theater to call them out and identify, Trevor, who plays soccer for the Knights in New Jersey, down to that level of detail. And the smiles on kids' faces and the, just the reaction that you get from the audience of delight, trying to figure out how that's happening, surprise. And I said, when I'm in a show with kids, you get a combination of, gosh, I hope he doesn't call on me, and I can't wait to be called on, depending on the personality type, right? So it's really wonderful. But we've combined a number of technologies around social media, digital puppetry, to just make it a one-of-a-kind show. It's also audience-driven plot. So there are some key branch points and choices in the show where the audience kind of votes for which path to take. So you will literally never see the same show twice. Not only will you be very unlikely to see the same plot and images up on the screen, you'll also obviously never see or hear the same exchange with the audience each time you come through. So something new every time you go through. So while that's unique to the Hershey, PA facility, the technology also allows us to, in the future, and we're getting very close to this, send our characters out to remote locations around the world. So we could have a digital puppeteer on site here in Hershey, PA, and send his image to Shanghai and have a character visit, at 3 p.m., 3 a.m. our time, in the Shanghai store, and be able to extend the experience and the technology to consumers around the world. So that's very fun. And then in all of our stores, we have some signature experiences, such as putting your photo on a bar and designing your own label for a bar. That's in every one of our locations. We also have a Kisses experience where you can kind of create your own gift and mix and match and do some fun stuff there. But again, the point being, finding ways for guests to connect in a very personal and custom way to the brands that they love, and be able to just hold Hershey in their mind and thoughts in an even deeper way as they walk out of whichever location that we have.
in addition to this, you're a great corporate citizen, your company.
We are. We have fantastic corporate reputation as well as brand reputations, and we're doing an awful lot globally around corporate social responsibility. I think we're getting ready to put out another report very soon. So very, very proud of that, of all the things we're doing around the world. We can certainly bring you up to speed with that. I can speak to a few things, but probably not as well as some other folks in the company.
Oh, you speak. This is very exciting, and then we've done some of those stories about the kind of farmers you work with.
The work in Ghana, absolutely. The schools that we're putting in place, the teleeducation, teleconferencing for education between even Hershey, Pennsylvania, and students in Ghana. Very, very fun stuff and great stuff.
Very important stuff. You're a total operation. There's no doubt about it. And you even have York peppermint patties. So
that was a brand I led at one point in time. So near and dear to my heart.
And today is your day, Halloween. It would be kind of interesting to see how much candy. This is a big day for you, right? Isn't it a big sale day?
It is, absolutely big. Well, certainly a big use day. We hope that most of the sales have taken place before today. But yeah, and
sure.
there's a lot of press out there today, and a lot of fun things happening, and obviously we're top of mind with many of our consumers today. So it is a big day for us.
All right, 40 years, and then keep on going, and forward motion. And how would your founder thought of the longevity of what he had conceived of many, many years ago, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he was quite a visionary, so part of me thinks he wouldn't be all that surprised. But yeah, certainly you probably don't conceive of that when you're starting something out. So hopefully, I'm sure he'd be proud, and just as we are, of what he started.
You also have a great website that's interactive as well, and it has a lot of facts here. Infographic, making sense of experiential marketing. Did you know? And did you know? And a lot of good things on here.
Yeah, hopefully it'll help you. And we talked a lot about the consumer experiences and the direct properties that we have, but from a broader standpoint, a big role that we play within the total corporate strategy, as I mentioned, is really that marketing tool. I mean, certainly we're going business and enterprise, but we really pride ourselves on being that multisensory marketing leader, and then being able to continue to extend our brands beyond the traditional retail connection that people will have with the Hershey's brand. And our websites and the kind of things like that we send out are yet another way to put a smile on people's face, because it's a great company to work for, and one of the things that makes it so great is the smiles and the happiness that we do bring to people. When you mention your brand name, immediate recognition, immediate history, story, and connection. So it's tough to say I want to work for any other company for sure. Or there are very few brands that really can share that same sort of position in consumers' minds. So it just makes it a wonderful place to work and really be able to bring good news and smiles to people's faces.
All right, it's a Hershey experience. Last question, Amy. Thank you very much for sharing a lot of happiness here. And what's good news for you?
Well, good news for me is certainly record attendance, but we're looking forward, of course, to today. We've got some visitors today, and actually this weekend will be a big weekend for us at all of our locations. And finishing out the year, we usually have a nice big holiday season as well coming through. So we're looking forward to hosting a lot more consumers and making their holidays and end of year and New Year bright again. And that warms my heart to just connect with more and more consumers. That's the good news in my book, for sure.